This is Lauren.
This is Trey.
And this
is the Partnership Podcast.
I'm Lauren, and I am one piece of the Partnership Podcast. I am the mother of an 11-year-old and born and raised here in the same small town in Virginia, and currently working as a sexuality educator after over a decade of work in a maternal health field.
I'm Trey, and I'm her partner. This week, Lauren and I discuss my human design and our specific archetypes, and then we break down how our specific archetypes can support each other. Enjoy.
Any other person. Like, we all have different motivations for saying things that we say. Hi, baby.
Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Let's dive right into it.
We're making this like a weekly thing now.
Yeah.
I love it. Hopefully all things got published because I said everything's scheduled for the first time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to jump into my human design. We're going to jump into... Okay, so how do we set this up? We're talking about my human design
Yeah,
today,
can I
correct?
tell a little story first?
Yes.
So I am a nerd for typology type of stuff. Always have loved Myers-Briggs and Clifton Strengths and DISC and Enneagram. And Enneagram was really a world changer for me because the Enneagram started to equip me with tools to not only love myself, but to love other people.
What is Enneagram?
Enneagram is another typology thing. Now,
what's typology?
A typology is a system through which, this is a la Lauren, this is my definition of typology when it comes to a human typology. Any system through which you are more able to understand self and understand others. And it equips you with tools. We all go through life in certain ways. And it is fascinating to me to have tools to better understand ourselves because I think that self-awareness is crucial to loving ourselves more and loving other people more.
Love it. Okay, so this typology is called human design. And you discovered human design, 6 months, a year ago?
About a year ago from friend Jay, who is another typology nerd with me.
Okay. And
she'll send me things like this. And she's the one who introduced me to it and said she thought I would think it was really helpful.
And then typology is also like a horoscope.
Sure.
It's like astrology.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I grew up thinking those were of the devil, so
yeah.
This is fascinating.
Like Satan? They're planted here by Satan?
The stars, if the stars governed your life, then you somehow were out of power. It's all hilarious because didn't God make the stars? I never really even understood it from a child. Literally, the horoscopes would be in magazines on the grocery store aisles or whatever, and my parents would turn them around.
Sweet. All of them?
Yeah.
So time consuming. But
that and pictures of scantily clad women.
I appreciate the dedication. Okay. Can I break down what human design is according to humandesign.com?
Yeah, I just want to tell all the stories, but yes, go ahead.
What do you mean tell all the stories?
I just wanted to say that you are so patient with me when I introduce typologies into your life. And so we use this all the time, this human design typology, which is why we are doing this podcast today.
Okay, so this is from humandesign.com, and this is Jenna Zoe. She didn't create human design, but she is one of the experts. And I'm going to really just kind of sum it up. We're not all built the same. We're each born as our highest, real self, but life can shit on us, and then we get conditioned. And human design says that certain things that we haven't been exposed to, we need to be doing, and then certain things that we're doing a whole bunch of, we don't necessarily need to do. And then it's equal parts scientific measurables, and then equal parts spiritual. Combines a bunch of different spiritual type things, and then it goes into the science of subatomic particles from Earth and the galaxy.
And how they shed off. It's for science geeks. It's incredible.
It's a real thing. I don't know the nuts and bolts of how it works, but This is a typology. Cool. Okay, so yeah.
I think what's fascinating is you and I often comment on the moon, and you grew up near the ocean, right? You've felt the pull, right? We've talked about how, right, the full moon absolutely changes water flow and all of these things. Babies are born around the full moon. And so if you think about those types of things, it makes so much sense to me that where we're born, when we're born, where the moon is in its cycle, all does matter.
You can go to myhumandesign.com and you need your place of birth, your date of birth, and the exact time of your birth, and then it's going to shoot out like what your human design is based on, their proprietary blend, whatever's going on the website, and it's free, which is nice.
Yeah. And myhumandesign.com is good, but also my favorite is mybodygraph.com, and this is the original site of the original founder guy. I can't even say his name, Rara.
Cool.
Something like that. And again, we don't want this podcast to be your expert resource on human design.
Fuck no, we're not.
No. Please, there's like a million. I'll put them actually in the show notes.
Sure.
All of my favorite podcasts on human design, where people can go for all of these things. Because if you like a good scientific deep dive, people should do it. It's really fun.
Okay, so after doing like both of our human designs, it turns out I'm a projector and you're a generator. How many different ones are there?
5.
5? Okay, can you break down what a projector, like their traits, and then what a generator is, and then we can say whether or not we agree?
Yeah. So I'm going to read off another site that I'll also link. Projectors have the ability to see others on a deep level. And as such, they are helpers who love offering up advice. Projectors can run into problems when people become frustrated by their unsolicited guidance. Strengths and weaknesses. Projectors have this ability to pierce, which is so hilarious because this is literally a phrase you use sometimes. They have the ability to see how things could be different and easier. Projectors only have so much energy. They do not have as much energy as a lot of other folks who walk this planet. Not only are you a projector, my kid is a projector. And it is fascinating to watch the two of you because your tanks just go like and wind down. And that's been really helpful for me to see. So we'll talk more about the ways it works in our partnership in a little bit. But then generators are actually the most common type of all of these. And we are put on this earth to work. We have so much energy. And in fact, we need to use all that energy every day, or else we won't sleep well, we won't function well. We work best when we are doing something that is lighting us up from the inside. And when we are responding to a need or to a question. So, for instance, I built a nonprofit once before, and I did that out of a response because my body noticed a lack of something, and then I had all the energy in the world to make it happen, to fix the problem. I started a new business, Sex Ed for You, and also because my body said, wait a second, there is a lack of something, let me fill that void. And you've watched me build.
Sure.
Some mornings I'll be up, like I can't even keep myself in bed. I have so much energy for it.
Yeah.
So generators, tons of energy. We lead from our sacral chakra. And so I have a lot of power that comes from that sacral part of me. You have splenic authority. That's another thing we could get into, but each type also has an authority. So I have sacral authority, you have splenic authority, which gives you a little more energy than some projectors, but just also gives you a shit ton of wisdom. So much wisdom. Generators are built to respond. We do best when we're responding. Projectors need to wait for an invitation to give that guidance, or else they feel like they're speaking into a void, or they get frustrated because nobody's taking their advice.
Okay.
Those are some like downfalls. Generators burn out. They tend to just burn out because people see that they can do a lot of work, so they want them to do a lot of work. And then they're like, wait, where's my energy? Why is this killing me? So yeah, that's like a basic overview. There's so much more. And I just really encourage people to look up their own type. There's channels, there's gates that we have access to. You're exactly right. We are built a certain way, but then we have a certain way that we end up feeling like we need to put ourselves out into the world. And that's where we find ourselves conflicted. And that's where the human design's been really helpful for me too, of no, wait to respond. A beautiful example of our projector generator, before we get into the things you wrote down, is this very podcast. You said, I think we need to do a podcast. I think that we talk about fascinating things and it would be beneficial to other people. You said this when?
Year and a half ago?
Yeah. And in my gut at the time, I felt no fire. I was like, okay, like, yeah, I love our conversations. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with you. But I couldn't see where I was supposed to put that out into the world. I hadn't heard a request for something like this. And so we started recording. I want to say, like, yeah, we got our equipment a year ago now. And then we started recording in like January 22 or something like that. And I just remember telling you, babe, can you trust me with when we're supposed to put it out there? Because I don't feel the call yet. And I know like probably 2% of the information I could know about human design, but I know enough to know now that I will burn out. If I try to put something out there and I don't feel the why, the pull, I'll do a shit job and it won't get it out there. And then sure enough, you waited and I waited until enough of my clients were sharing things with me that I was like, they need to hear this. They need to hear two human people. Yeah.
Can I say this about all this stuff?
Yes, please.
That it does fall into the category of like woo-woo.
Yeah.
But I like woo-woo.
Huh.
I always kind of have liked it.
Really?
And certain things I do want to shit on, but I just like it. Like subatomic particles from the galaxy. It's like, oh, really? Really, huh? Yeah, it goes through your body and it goes through the moon and the earth. It's like, oh, tell me more. So it is, but I like it though. I mean, my grandmother was an astrologist and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I always grew up with this kind of stuff. So it is interesting, but like I do want to put the disclaimer on there that like this may be horoscope stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So it is interesting where I wrote down, we did can we transition to the podcast?
Sure. Yeah, we listened to a podcast recently. There's this whole podcast called The Projector Movement. And again, I'll put this in the show notes. And this is the podcast that my friend Jay sends me all the time because she's a projector too. And she is married to a generator, just opposite genders. So my friend Jay is married to D. He's a generator and she's a projector. And so we have lots of fun sometimes chatting about their projector generator partnership and how it is similar and different to ours. So she sent me a podcast.
Yeah. So the Projector Movement, shout out Charlie. He's the founder. It is, the title of this one was The Dynamic of the Projector and the Generator. And it was kind of cool where it was, a generator should know all this about a projector, and this is how you can have more synergy, and vice versa too. So they flip it. So can we go through? Sarah does this also. So Charlie introduces this podcast, and then Sarah breaks this stuff down. Can I just go through it, and can we say just real quickly whether we agree or disagree?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what's important, where you, Lauren, the generator, should know this about me, Trey, the projector. The projector, me, I want to be recognized, seen, and verbally acknowledged. Doesn't that go for fucking everybody, though?
No, honey. Okay, so when I don't put the dishes in the dishwasher, when I leave them in the sink, and you go... No, this does not happen.
I don't. You know what?
You go. This
you know what?
is what you say.
I take it back immediately. I don't feel seen. I go. What
go.
The fucking thing is right there.
What you say. You go. I do not feel seen.
That comes out of my mouth so much more now that we're together.
I don't
feel seen.
Be seen.
I don't feel fucking seen.
Seen or valued. This is what you'll tell me.
Okay, all right.
And before we even knew this, you would say that. And I would have to be like, okay, he does not feel seen or valued if I don't put the dish in the dishwasher. And people need to understand, I'm a very clean person. Like, this is not like piles of dishes in the sink.
No.
This is a single dish, two dishes. And you will say, so serious. I do not see. I do not feel.
It's just finish. That's what it is. It comes down to like, hey, just finish, okay?
No, it comes down to
You're
how
so
I make
close.
you feel. I'm so sorry.
You're so close. Just
but yes,
finish.
continue.
Fair enough. But okay, I will say that everybody wants to be seen, heard, and recognized. But maybe like
I will
got
ask
more.
the people. Yes, I think
ask
you're
your people.
exactly right.
Ask your
Everybody
people.
wants some of those things. Yes, you just need it.
Number 2, I cannot keep up with your energy, and for you to not put that on me, that I cannot keep up with your energy, and I 100%. This is a ding dong.
Ding dong, darling.
I 100% agree with this one. You are like maybe an infinite energy source, and I couldn't possibly do the things that you do. Like, you can work 12-hour days, you can do 2 workouts in a day, work 12-hour days, and then you're still working in bed, like on your phone, like doing stuff. I can't do that shit. No.
And isn't it interesting that before we knew about this, people would say to us literally, "Where's Trey?" And I'd go out to, I don't know, meet friends. And I'd be like, "Oh, no, he's home. Like, he needed to be in this evening." And I don't know. There was something about our dynamic, and I just applaud you for knowing yourself so well, because you've always been very clear with me, no, I don't have the energy for that thing. And then you've never, and we'll get to how you can love your generator well, but you've never forced me to stay home with you.
No, and okay, vice versa, where it's, you don't force me to go out. You don't say like, hey, I need you at this pumpkin patch, and I need you to wear this flannel shirt so we can take fucking pictures for Instagram and shit. Yeah, because that's my personal, hell.
Yeah.
Not saying I wouldn't do it, and like, no, I fucking hate pumpkin patches. I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
but
no.
like, you don't put that on me, and I love you for that.
Thank you.
And then I don't have to go out to all the events, or I've even canceled events where it's like, babe, I can't do this tonight.
With
You're like,
good
cool.
friends too. It has nothing.
Yeah.
What people need to understand about projectors is that it has nothing to do with who they would get to be around. No, and no, it's just done.
And then this is real quick, like
Okay.
what I as a projector need to do for you as a generator is I need to encourage you to go out and do these things. Where I don't give you, you already said it, where I don't give you shit, or I try to keep you home with me.
And that prime example of that is when I did a professional production over the summer.
Yeah.
And sure, we all know that it went a little haywire. I left the rug outside. I was slacking off. But you really were trying to encourage in me for me to do things that light me up.
True.
You really were. And
Yeah.
you saw that, and you tried to fan that flame. You did fan the flame. Then I left a rug.
Projector needs time away from the generator. Doesn't everybody need time away from each other? Or is that not the
We
case?
do, honey. Do you remember when I was sharing our honeymoon on social media? People were like, "Excuse me, are you even together on your honeymoon?"
Do couples just
You need
spend all of their time together?
Some couples are not built like us, like generator and generator. They totally could. They'd enjoy it. They'd enjoy it.
I agree with that one, though. I
Manny
do need
Gen
time
and
away from
generator.
Yeah, like when it's raining here and I can't go to the course. Yeah. I do have a basement that I hide in.
And you will stay there, right? How would it feel if I like came down and like just tried to hang out and be like, "Babe, could I just work from down here?"
I wouldn't be that mad at that. Generator invites the projector in by asking questions and then asks for guidance and support.
Okay, so this is fascinating for us because back to how you have so much wisdom. I can't even tell you how many problems you've solved for me. Okay, I needed to write a paper for school. And I was like, I just don't know when I'm going to do it. And I said this to you as if it was a question to be like entered in on. And you'll do this, babe. Just try to do it in 1 hour increments each day. You don't have to do the whole thing right at once. You can just do an hour and then another hour and then another hour. This was a huge, monstrous research paper. Literally, you're going to find this comical. I had not considered that prospect because I like to like do things and finish them all in a day. And so when I can't, I don't know what to do sometimes. Like, well, what am I going to do? I don't have time for this. And you're thinking in your head, yes, you have time for this. You scroll through your phone for at least an hour every day. Like, you have time. So you are able to give insight if I offer it in. And then the clincher is I need to be in a place where I'm open and willing to receive that information.
A projector's systems aren't like clockwork. We operate more spontaneously, and then we take on a different persona. No, I don't agree with that. I love like a system. I love a schedule. I want to be more scheduled. I thrive on a schedule, so I don't agree with that. And then take on a different persona. I don't know. I don't like that.
I'm going to beg to differ a little bit in
Please
my
do.
observations with you.
But if you do it too much, I'll shut you down.
Sure. You do love a schedule, and I have never seen someone, especially male-bodied, someone like you who listens to their body as well. So you could have a great workout schedule planned, great golf practice sessions lined out for your whole week. And then you get the sniffles on Wednesday, as you did this past week. Everything changes and you listen to your body. A generator has a much harder time doing that. When I say to you sometimes like, hey, is there anything I can do for you when I'm already sick, right? And we'll say like, how can I support you? You will look at me and you will say, will you please take care of yourself? Because that is a way you can care for me. I am not good at doing that. And you've noticed this, you picked up on this. So you try to help me care for myself. But you do listen. So I know you love a schedule. And I think that has to do with your splenic authority, but you will alter. You will make a change. If you have your workouts scheduled for like getting up at 6 a.m., but you did not sleep well that night, you will immediately adjust.
Yeah. I'm not doing that shit.
No, you won't. So like, I know you love a schedule, but I think you do that for yourself to like have freedom within the schedule.
Okay.
Because you would also like cancel a plan. If we had dinner scheduled with people and you like weren't feeling
it was Tuesday, yeah. I knew I was getting sick.
Yeah.
And,
Yes. It's like I know you or something.
A generator should respect, understand, and encourage the projector to sleep alone sometimes.
Yes, I wanted to talk about this.
Uh-huh.
So we do not sleep alone, but we do have a big bed.
Yeah.
And I learned very quickly on that I'm not to touch or snuggle.
Not in the middle of the night. No. I hate that shit. Yeah, you got to stay on your side of the bed. We got a California king for a reason. Yeah, you need to stay on your side.
He
of the
has
bed.
woken me up to tell me to move to my side of the bed in the middle of the night.
I can't do it. Yeah, it's like a personal affront. You're my favorite person in the world too, and I feel affronted.
Yeah.
This is actually very true for past relationships too. Say when we weren't, living in the same place.
Okay.
Because you're the first woman I've lived with. Yeah. So yeah, I've always had a separate place from former girlfriends. So yeah, I needed that sometimes. Where it's like, hey, I can't. Yeah. So I need to recharge that way for sure, or I need alone time. I never feel the urge to like sleep without you, but this is an extension where it's like, hey, I can't do the cuddling when it's time to actually go to sleep.
Which
Say
is
when we're watching TV, cool, but when it's time to rest, I can't do that.
No. And that's what I think is so fascinating is that we are very touchy-feely all throughout the day. Tons of public displays of affection.
Sure.
We hold hands, we cuddle, we kiss, we hold all the time. This has nothing to do with you. Physical touch, you would say, is your top love language. Yeah. But then comes sleeping time, no. And it is definitely a way that I can respect you and allow you to recharge that battery. I've heard it said that like literally the generator will like away from a projector's energy in the middle of the night if they don't get that recharge. And so when I heard that, I was like, goodness gracious, I'm going to leave this man alone.
Projectors know the benefits of riding the generator energy wave, and that they know that this isn't their energy.
Tell me about this.
One of the reasons I love you so much is because I always say, like, you know, your positivity and your excitement. Another way of saying that is like your energy to do stuff. And then it's genuine. It's not like you have to get up for it, where a lot of the stuff, even the stuff I want to do, I have to like, okay, here we go. Like I have to start momentum.
Yeah. When I heard this in that podcast, I was like, I think that's what he's been saying. Because you've said that all along, that it's so like joyous for you to be around. Yeah, I don't think I ever understood what you truly meant before by you just love like being in a space with me. And you would say something like, it's contagious, like your joy is contagious. And yeah, I just never understood until I started learning about projectors and generators, and that there's this energy that I possess when I'm doing something that lights me up, like truly when it lights me up, that projectors love being around because it's like a battery adapter.
It's an energy source for sure. Okay, flip the script. What projectors need to know about generators? What I need to know about you. Okay. Sarah says the number one overall thing is that my job isn't to guide, advise, analyze you until it's asked for. My partner is not my project, and that's fucking profound. I find that to be profound. I've been in other relationships where that was one of the reasons it deteriorated, because I took on a role of like, almost like, am I raising this person? Am I now like a father figure? And the irony was that she was older than me. And I wish I would have known that it wasn't my job. Like so many things were not my job, but I didn't know that at the time.
You didn't know.
And then that's a trap I can definitely fall into. But I learned that actually at a young age in my 20s, where like...
Your phrase is, do you want me to listen or do you want me to give feedback? Is that your phrase?
Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating?
And then I learned at a young age where it's like people don't want, like if they tell you your problems, they don't want advice. They really just want to tell you your problems.
Which...
But it's not my job. My job is to not give you advice all the time.
Do you ever feel like you want to?
No. Yes, and no. Where it's like, okay, I can see how to fix this, but...
So like my simmer pot.
Your simmer pot, babe?
The pot I put on the stove when I simmer my spices.
Yeah. Yeah, you've gone through, what, 3 of them now? Yeah, I'll just turn it off now. Like, I won't get on you. I won't say, like, I'll just turn it off.
No, I wish
Or I still need to go to Goodwill and get you like a pot for $5.
Hidden cameras.
Instead of the Cuisinart. But hey, you got the thing out. Yeah, what she does is she'll put a pot on. It smells amazing in the house, but then she'll leave it on, and then it burns the thing.
Yeah.
And it fucks up the pot.
And I've fucked up many pots.
Yeah, like 3, I want to say we've gone through.
You have tried to provide me with so much wisdom and counsel on how not to do this. And it's been hilarious because I obviously in my body am not actually asking for the advice on how to do this, because I can tell when I am asking for advice on how to do something and I receive it. There's a difference. When my body receives your advice, it's world changing.
I can do a better job of just waiting to be asked for advice. I'd be happy to do that. Okay, I should not control your creative flow and encourage you to live life to the fullest.
That makes me cry. Yeah, and I think so many people have tried to control my creative flow.
Is there an example you can think of when I've tried to control your creative flow?
No, you've always been the best about it. No.
Always? There's not like nothing that stands out?
Well, I do think that's the hard thing. You know, I just gave that example if you were like, babe, just study a little bit every day. That works when it comes to like a tangible project, but when it comes to creating a business, creating a new product, a new this, a new that, I get in a state of flow where I don't want to stop. I'm having a grand time.
I'll get on you sometimes, like when you're on your phone at like 9 o'clock at night when we're in bed. But I think you're just scrolling, right? It's not like you're working. Like yesterday, actually, you were doing a post. I noticed you were doing something to put it out there in the world, and I was like, oh, she's just knocking out a little. Well, I knew you were knocking out a little thing versus just, you know, hitting the monkey wheel.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that. No, you're usually really good about
hamster wheel.
Monkey wheel. That sounds fun.
It's like hitting
when I built the path to my home office, I remember you saying that you would have stopped and done it in little increments.
Yeah, you spent like 6 hours doing it.
Because I had the energy to do it.
Yeah.
Yesterday I built a headboard. I wanted to do it in a whole day. I did know I wanted to get my supplies the day before, but I knew I wanted to do the whole thing in a day. It's how I really like to flow. And no, you typically stay out of my way, because you've always said that it's one of the things you're attracted to is kind of like my power towards like going for something.
Yeah, I admire that you can work 12-hour days. Like have efficient 12-hour work days.
I don't typically work for 12 hours a day, do I?
You'll do it at least a couple of times a month, for sure.
Okay. A month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like once a week. So, I mean, even if it's once a week, it's 4 times. But it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Respects and honors the work that you do. And then make sure that I don't have some type of superiority complex and act like a dick.
Because projectors can be so efficient. And I think in their hearts, they want other people to conserve their energy too. Like, don't you just want to be done so you can have more rest time? And it can end up feeling judgy. Like, well, maybe I need to prioritize that, but I don't need that, right? And so, yeah, not being like frustrated with like, why are you still working, right?
That goes back to shutting down your energy flow or your workflow.
But can we go back to that, like, what was it, like seeing the work I do or like acknowledging?
Respect and honor the work that a generator does.
Yeah. So you know that to you and M, sometimes I'll just like cry. Like, I just want you guys to be proud of me.
Yeah.
Like, but just to you two. Like, it really, the rest of the world, I think I've come to grips with the fact that the rest of the world will see me or not. Like, I really have no control.
Good.
But to the people who are closest to me in my life, all I want is for them to be quote unquote proud of me, not of the result of the work. That's what's so fascinating about this when I heard it on this podcast is I had never heard it phrased like that. I just want to be seen for the work I'm doing on myself.
The process.
The work I'm doing for others. Yeah, it's weird.
Great.
It's like, see me for what's important to me.
Yeah.
See me for, I don't know. I did a post, and I think I've shared this with you like last week on Instagram. Out of something that was lighting me up, I was sharing some research, and it resonated with a lot of people. But then there were some people who said some really mean things, but they said it about the process, and that's what has wounded me so deeply. Yeah, is I try to be really diligent with my processes. And when that's critiqued, I think it feels like a gut punch.
How do you deal with like negativity online in the comments? I don't have social media, so I don't, and I don't, like I try to actually stay ignorant to the praise as well as the negativity. That's one of our agreements where I do all this, but I don't want to do the social media machine.
That would drain you like anything else.
I've done it before in the past, and I just don't want to do it anymore because it can be a dark fucking place. So how do you deal with the negativity? Are you liberal with the block button?
No, because recently that's gotten critiqued a lot too. So
100%, where it's like, oh, they're just going to silence my voice.
Yeah. So
but
no,
at the same time, if somebody's going to call you like a cunt or something, fuck them.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I will delete hateful speech. I block those who you can tell who Yeah, or just evil.
Uh-huh.
Like just I block evil, I block hate, I block crude, because I am a sexuality educator. So there's a
Sure.
lot of people
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there who
Oh,
try to go
interesting.
to sexually explicit that it does not fit in my container.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, I'm not anti a block delete button. I
Is there a
also
point?
just have a phrase. I just have a phrase that
Got
I
it.
use.
Is there a point where, like, say, if you are receiving hundreds or thousands of comments on a daily basis, is there a point where you just have to ignore it all?
That's not recommended.
I think there has to be a point, right? Where you just can't literally intake it.
Yeah, I think my hope and prayer, because in my mind, it's a greater form of community. It's a greater form
Okay.
of sexuality education. And I don't care to do that. I'm not Taylor Swift. I'm not like a singer. I am an educator. And so to me, it's an opportunity for more education. And so my hope and prayer would be if I, continue to expand and grow like I desire to train a team of people who can help manage that community, so that it's not just me, but that we can have a singular voice of love.
Next one. Generators do well with yes and no questions. Is this true?
Yes.
Seriously?
Okay. Yes. So I do this to myself now. I learned this a couple months ago.
Huh?
My Wednesday S friend and I go out to our local pizza joint every Wednesday, and she knows human design as well. This is what happens. We sit down, we both get our baby beers, and then they say, "Do you want foodstuffs?" That's what they always ask. And then Sarah goes, "Yes, what do we want?" And she looks at me, and I close my eyes. And I go through the menu and I ask my body, "Do you want this pizza? Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no," until my body says, "Yes, I want that one." And then I say it out loud, and Wednesday S goes, "Yep, that's what I want too." And then we get that pizza. It's crazy. Yes or no questions work so well with me.
So I should start asking you yes or no questions?
It's incredibly powerful.
Okay, I'll start asking you yes or no questions. We'll see. I want to report back on that one.
Okay. I think you do it more than you know. Do you want coffee? Yes or no? Do you want eggs? Yes or no? You ask me yes or no questions all the time.
These are layup yeses, okay?
Okay, that's
You can
like an
ask me
easy
if I
one.
want sex next. Let me think about it.
But you do ask me that.
Do you want sex? Yes or no?
Uh-huh.
I have. Yeah.
You do.
And it works out great.
It does work out great. It's very consensual in this house.
A projector should support a generator's outside friendships and relationships. It's your stage. That was the last one.
Ooh, I did want to talk about the stage thing because they talk about projectors. Okay, support outside friendships. And yes, you do that so well. I mean, you're like, go have your friends. And thank you for that because it's life-changing for us not to try to get this is Esther Perel, right?
codependent
Yeah,
on each
no,
other.
like interdependence, great. Codependent, not great. But I wanted to get to the thing that they said projectors need a stage. They need a place where they are the expert, and where
Me.
they are seen for their talents. Yes, this was about you.
I guess so. Yeah, I have my thing.
You do.
I have my little
You have
outlets.
your little
Yeah,
things.
I have my things. I have my
Where
podcast.
you're the king.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have fantasy football. Yeah, I guess.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah, I'm
because
the commissioner. Shout out to the boys.
it's really good for you. And I thought, oh my gosh. And what I love about it is, it is a podcast that you record in our basement. My friends call it the Yelling Podcast. But it is really neat because it's the thing where it is your stage. You'll show me when you're like, oh, the guy said it was really funny today.
Yeah, I have a little creative. I have my little creative outlet too.
And it really helps you to be seen and valued.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Provide value too.
yeah.
To like make it kind of a club. Where like I like building things where other people find interesting. Yeah, I like doing that. But how does it apply for you as a generator?
I don't think I need that as much. I think it was saying it for projectors.
No, this was a support a generator stage. So would you say you disagree with that?
My whole life is a stage,
Yeah,
baby.
I was gonna say. I disagree with that shit. Yeah, let me hear this one.
Yeah, please support my stage. I mean, you put me on stage, basically. You're like, hey, like, yeah, you're always supportive of that. But when you met me, I I don't think I was like sheepish about the fact that I was a musical theater child.
No, you're not sheepish about anything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a performer.
Yeah.
I will find the stage.
Yeah.
And you never hold me back. I don't think this would have worked. I was too self-aware when I met you. If you had been like, oh, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. I would have been like, bye. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was interesting that, they said this somewhere. Was it on that podcast? That I can't be the only one providing you with the being seen and valued. And I thought that was damn fantastic.
Doesn't that go for everybody? Isn't that like a general
Yes,
thing?
but I think for projectors especially. For instance, with the kid, with B, pottery is her big thing right now. And I think it is so damn great that she has pottery instructors speaking into her life, speaking into that talent, that it's not just us giving her feedback. And we've had some feedback recently. But yeah, I was thinking about your golf game and how it's really good that you're getting that like feedback from a different person, from your coach.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Like
super valuable.
You need that. You need other voices to be seeing you and valuing your work.
That goes for everybody though, right? I think that goes for everybody.
Yes, but I think some people might be okay with like, I don't know.
There's just a gold star next to ours.
Yeah, honey, I don't think people need that, the like appreciation. Okay. I think they want it. I think it's good for them. You literally need it. And it's okay to need.
Okay.
It's okay to need.
I don't think of myself that way, but like, that doesn't mean it's not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need it. And it's wonderful. You're not a very needy person. Mm-hmm. But what's so nice about projectors is it's very tangible. It's like, do this. It's all they need. And then they're good.
Cool.
They're really good.
We got anything else, baby?
Do you think that this typology has been helpful in our relationship?
I think this is a really neat list. So yeah, this is a net positive. So this is beneficial. Is some of it general? Yeah. Am I a skeptic for certain things? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like, this is good.
There's so much more that one can, if they choose to, start to dig into the My Human Design. The thing that I've been starting to look into recently is the channels. So we all have chakras, sure, but then we have some clear channels from one chakra to the other. And I have a clear channel from my solar plexus to my throat. And they call this the channel of structuring, but basically it is the channel of genius or freak. And this has been really comforting to me recently because I feel like my entire life I have been to some people a genius and to some people a freak. And basically what I was learning the other day was those who are ready to receive the information that I have to share are going to be like, wow, I've never heard that before. This is so great. And then those who are not ready, that I rub the wrong way, are going to view me as a freak with what I have to share in the world because I have no problem sharing it. Mm-hmm. I feel compelled to share.
Baby, the good news is you're not a psychopath yet, and you're not a narcissist. That's the very good news.
Right. But you know that some of those are a fear of mine. I mean, they truly are.
I get it, but like, that's not you. So what you're putting out there right now is genuinely helpful. Is it going to help everybody? No. But you're not a grifter.
What does that mean?
A grifter is like, you're not a salesman. This isn't multi-level marketing. This isn't bullshit. You're not trying to steal from anybody or manipulate anybody. You're really just trying to educate people. You're doing a good job, Shug. I see you. I find the work that you do valuable.
You told me this.
Do you want to have sex? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No.
I like it. I'm going to ask aggressively. Yes or no?
No.
Fuck.
It doesn't work like that.
Fuck.
You were being cheeky when you said this yesterday. I think it was about the headboard, but I didn't pick up on the cheekiness, and I turned to you and I was like, "Oh, thank you." Did you remember this? And you were like,
"It's like your work is valued. I fucking value you."
It means so much to me.
Yeah.
If I was to say to you over and over again, "Your work is valued,"
I'd see like, what stop saying that.
Yes, you would.
I'd be like, you need to knock it off.
You would
knock it off right
so
now.
So that's what I mean. When you're like, everybody needs it. No. See?
But I do like it occasionally.
Yeah,
Everybody
occasionally,
does,
sure. Everybody does occasionally.
Yeah. I don't need to be showered with it.
You could probably tell me a couple times every day, babe, I see how hard you're working. And I'd be like, I was about to say it's stupid. It is not. I am learning more and more what is truly helpful for my body, and that it is not wrong to have needs, right? We got really off when we say things like, oh, is he a needy baby? No. Children have basic needs. Humans do too, big humans. And it is just up to us to decide who we align ourselves with and if those needs are things that we are interested and willing to provide. And that's okay. Yeah, so thanks for loving me.
You're welcome. Thanks for loving me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a great job with me.
Well, and thanks for all the insight that you give to me and share with me. Yeah, this podcast wouldn't exist if not for your insight. Sex Ed for You wouldn't exist without your insight.
Thanks, babe. You do the work.
I know, and I have so much joy in it.
You're grinding, honey. You're kicking ass at it.
But for you, we've always said this, you're able to see something in me that sometimes I cannot. And
it's one of the reasons I fell in love with you so damn quick. Yeah. It's like, holy shit, look at this dynamic woman. Look at this fucking dynamic woman. She's amazing. Yeah. So yeah. And you continue to be that, babe. It wasn't a facade. And like, what you're building right now, your process is awesome, and the outcome's going to be whatever you want it to be. You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
Keep it up.
Thanks. Someone said, my friend Jay, who sent us this podcast, that one of the things that she finds so incredible about our love story is that when we were sitting in the lobby of the hotel in San Diego, and I said, "Can I kiss you?" That was the invitation. And then you leaned in and pierced from there.
And I said yes.
You did.
Yes or no. Love you, baby.
I love you. The opinions expressed on this podcast are just that, opinions. We encourage you to take what you like and leave the rest. We love research and hope you do your own. We hope that our successes and failures enable you to build the partnerships you dream about. So I like to take a little minute just at the end of these podcasts to talk about the platform that we use for our podcast called Anchor. When we were first getting into the scene of podcasting, I didn't know much, but did a simple Google search and found that by just uploading one high-res video to Anchor's platform, it does the rest of the work for me, pushes out the audio and video to every platform podcast users use. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I'd love to tell you more about Anchor.